Why should you work on your running form and what to pay attention to? In this video I will show you 5 simple tips to improve your running form. Humans are born to run. It is, or was, one of humanity's primary movements. Every human body is designed to run. Despite this, everybody has their own running form. Did you ever look outside and see someone running in a somewhat strange way? It probably won't hurt to analyze your own form once as well. It can be important to pay attention to your running form because it can dramatically cut your chance of overuse injuries. Besides this, it can improve your running efficiency and therefore make you run faster or get less fatigued in time. Before we dive into the tips, I want to dive into the topic of foot strike or foot landing first. While I see many tips online such as pay attention to foot strike, make sure you land on your forefoot, etc., please don't pay attention to it. The legend of a single best foot strike is just a myth. In multiple studies it is shown that each foot strike pattern was associated with its own unique set of injuries. Looking at elite runners, there is also no clear pattern in foot strike. Let's look at the landing of these elite runners during the Boston Marathon. The quality of the footage is not that great, but it is a good example. Here we see the first runner, which has a clear forefoot/midfoot landing. The next runners in line have a clear heel strike, especially this last runner. So what I want to say is, please don't change your own foot strike. There are more universal and logic ways to improve your running form. So let's dive into my 5 best running form tips. Tip number 1. Film yourself. This sounds silly, but it might be a good idea to film yourself running and analyze your own form. Simply set up your phone or rope a friend in and film yourself running by. If you see room for improvement and want to apply one of the next tips, start implementing them in shorter intervals or shorter runs. This makes it easier to really pay attention to your running form. And don't try to practice more than one specific tip at a time. You will probably look like a penguin on a run instead of making firm improvements. Tip number 2. Lean slightly forward. Why is slightly leaning forward in particular important? Research indicates a strong correlation between forward lean and functionality of your leg joints. Leaning forward at the hip, even only a little bit, can improve your hip overall range of motion. This makes you run more efficiently. Don't start to lean massively forward on your first run. When you are running too straight or even with a slight backward lean, try to focus on bringing your upper body slightly more forward. Tip number 3. Look forward. The first thing to do when running is to get your head right. Many runners tend to raise their chin when they are tired or crane their necks up and out. You should be looking directly ahead or at the ground at least 10 meters in front of you. Keeping your gaze ahead helps your chin stay in a neutral position. You'll breathe easier and avoid unnecessary neck pain and strain. Last but not least, it's safer in traffic as well. Tip number 4. Arm swing. Why? If your arm swing isn't straight across your chest, it can translate to your legs and upset your form. An equal and forward arm swing will help keep your legs and upper body straight. So avoid unnecessary lateral movement. A suitable elbow angle is about 90 degrees. Keep your hands in unclenched fist and let them swing easily beside your chest. I say unclenched because tense shoulders or hands are an automatic reaction to stress, and we tend to grip as we become tired. So go ahead and trick your brain into thinking you aren't tired by keeping your hands tension free. And last but not least, good core strength. The main benefit of core strength for runners is increased stabilization in the torso. Core muscles are what keep your torso upright when you run and reduce wobbling when you're moving your arms and legs. Core strength allows the pelvis, hips and lower back to work together more smoothly to spend less energy during your run. Core strength for distance runners is especially important. Towards the end of long runs or races, when you are extremely fatigued, your form begins to suffer. Core strength helps you maintain good posture, so try to do core strength exercises at least once a week. I know you have 15 minutes of spare time at least every week, don't you? So start doing core exercises and improve your running form. This was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the tips. For now I would say, have fun out there and get on the run.